Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a look at another scope provided by Patreon provider Scott. This time it's a Nikon P Tactical 3-9x40 BDC600, model number 16525. Yes, that is a P. It could be mistaken for an actual symbol as opposed to a letter, but that's the way it is. Designed for a 223. Of course, BDC is indicative of a bullet drop compensator, and thus we got marks here for however many yards it decides to be set up for. Made in the Philippines. Box itself, you can see it's been around a while. It's seen its fair share of love by Scott and maybe someone else before him. He taped this closed this way it wouldn't open up in the box, which was very considerate, because I'd hate to have this thing rattle around inside of a box being shipped halfway across the country, floating around inside the box. Crack this thing open. Pretty simple cardboard flap, keeping it sort of secure. You could see the top elevation turret sticking out the top there. Not what I would consider to be the best I've seen. Would it be the worst? I'm going to put it pretty close, because this has plenty of room to get shifted front and back, side to side, and up and down. So, box out of the way. There's no instruction manuals. I don't know if he lost them or if he still has them in his house or whatever, but I'm sure you could find the PDF online if you were curious to see more about this in great detail. So here it is. Pretty simple, straightforward. I like that in a scope. 1-inch tube, quick adjust turrets, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Got to start off with the back. Quick focus eyepiece. Feels pretty good. Pretty quick adjustments on that. Doesn't feel like it has too much play in it. So that seems to be pretty good so far. I do wish that they would just be locking, but I guess it's more expensive. Let's come over here to the magnification ring. This being a 3x9, it's one of the most basic magnification ranges you'll ever find on a scope. This one, if we clock that at 12 o'clock, 9 is probably around 5 o'clock, so it's a little bit less than 180 degrees. Full minimum to maximum magnification, which I like. It's actually pretty quick, and I like that in a scope. I don't like it when it's 180 degrees all the way around, or sometimes even more. It just takes forever to get to your magnification. This is pretty quick, very smooth. It does feel like when I go to from maximum and I go back, there's a little bit of play inside the mechanism. If that shows up on the camera later, that'll be interesting to see. I don't know how long he had this for. I don't know how much action this has seen, but it seems to be in pretty good shape, all things considered. Got a little bit of sweat going on in there. It's a little bit warm in this room. And that's basically it. Let's take a look at these turrets, which right off the bat, when a scope like this has a BDC, I don't see the point in having target turrets. You know, you zero it and then you use it. That's just my perspective on it. You might love target turrets in a BDC. For me, I don't really see the point. I see a BDC as being used for something that's going to be really quick to engage in, and thus not fiddling around with your zero. But you might like it. Whatever. However, there's one thing we could all agree on, and that's having really nice turrets. So this is actually a pretty chunky size elevation and windage knob. Good clear hash marks on both of them. Nice, easy to see. This is MOA. As you can see, there's plenty of side-to-side movement, but when you go to engage another click, it's pretty sharp, very well-defined audio click, as you could imagine, and it feels really good in hand as well. There's a very positive click that surges through the cap when you go to make an adjustment. Let's check out the windage. You can tell this turret hasn't been used as much as the elevation turret because it's a little bit more stiff, but you still have that play. So maybe not as much. Yeah, it's not as much, but it's still there. But it does sound really, really good. There is no locking to it, but these are quick adjustment, which are really nice. So that's one kudos for them. And let's see if we can get this to line up on the hash marks. it seems to line up basically perfectly, which is very important for me. My OCD kicks in whenever it's slightly off. For example, if that was zeroed, I'd be really upset. But this seems to go right where it's supposed to. Yeah, I'm going to call that really good. Let me reset this to 0 and let's take a look through it. It's a pretty good look through the glass, but you see a lot of the outside of the scope around it at 3x. Cranking it up to 9x, at least the eye box seems to stay pretty consistent from minimum to maximum magnification, which is something that I absolutely consider to be crucial, because you don't want to ruin your cheek weld from one magnification to the next. You want it to be consistent. However, the glass looks pretty good, and when we consider the price of this, which is about $170 or so on Amazon right now, that's pretty damn good. Overall, it feels really nice in hand. The controls feel, honestly, solid. Adjuster in the back, magnification ring, and of course both turrets feel great in hand. And the glass isn't half bad to boot. And I actually like the BDC. I think having the circles like that is a great way of allowing you to not only get on target, but also be able to take a pretty precise shot if everything is lined up properly. So, right off the bat, I gotta say I like this. That's going to conclude this unboxing. Scott, thank you very much for sending this in. I'm sure everyone watching this appreciates it, and I know I certainly do. And thank you all very much for watching. See you again next time.